Hey guys, what's going on? Brofessor here, and welcome back to the next installment of the Top 10 Best LEGO Star Wars Sets. Today we're going to be checking out the sets from the year of 2010, so we're getting into the first year of the 2010s, I guess you could say. But as always, this video is just completely my own opinion. You do not have to agree with it. But if you do end up enjoying it, don't forget, go down there, smash that like button, consider subscribing if you're new, and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about my list and what your top 10 sets from this year are. With that all the way, we're going to jump straight into this one at number 10, where I put set number 8086, the Droid Tri-Fighter. This one sold for $25, came with 268 pieces. The three minifigures you see there, you have two regular rocket battle droids, and then you have one commander rocket battle droid with the kind of yellow dot on its head and the yellow dot on its chest. That minifigure is exclusive, so that's pretty cool. But overall, this is just a pretty basic set, which is why this is a little lower down on the list. But I think they executed the Droid Tri-Fighter design very well. Obviously, you have the three rings that go around it, and then you also kind of have that center pod. There's also a ton of detail showing off where all the weaponry would be. There's some nice boosters in the back. Overall, just a greatly designed Droid Tri-Fighter. Pretty simple, but it gets the job done. Comes with some great minifigures. And that's why this one is at number 10. So moving on to number 9, we have set number 8128, Cad Bane Speeder. This one sold for $50, came with 318 pieces. And that's one of the reasons why this one is down here, just the price per piece. I mean, for $50, I don't really know if this is worth it. Get the 5 minifigures, you get a Senate Commando Trooper, you get a Senate Commando, I think it's like Corporal or like Captain, not entirely sure. That like pirate guy's name is actually Shahan Alama, didn't know he was named, but he is. It also comes with an Assassin Droid and Cad Bane. The minifigures are definitely a reason why this is up here. The Senate Commandos aren't super common. Obviously, there's the Battle Pack, but otherwise, they are pretty rare. And then all these other minifigures, other than the Assassin Droid's not that rare, but Cad Bane doesn't appear in a lot of sets, and then obviously that Pirate guy also does not. And they did give you a nice little speeder design. I don't think it's really worth it for the $50, but I do think that this is a very nice speeder design. It comes with plenty of storage in terms of like being able to carry your minifigures around. You get the 4 seats in there. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure there's 8 seats, or 6 seats, excuse me. There's 4 in the back, 2 in the front. And then obviously you can kind of have this thing flying around as it would on Coruscant. But overall, pretty basic design, not a great price with some pretty decent minifigures, and that's why this one is at number 9. So moving on to number 8, we have set number 8095, General Grievous's Starfighter. This one sold for $50, came with 454 pieces, and this is in the Clone Wars style. So that's why you see the Clone Wars style General Grievous, and then it comes with his droid from that show, which is actually EVA4D. So I didn't know that one had a name. And then the Jedi Knight that comes with this one is Nadar Veb, who is also in the TV show. I think that the General Grievous Starfighter is a huge improvement on the one that was released, I believe, in 2007. I think they made some nice improvements. Overall, it looks better visually, and they also added a ton of playability. So you increase the display ability, make it look nicer, but then you also increase the playability for your main target audience, obviously being the kids who are going to be playing with this thing. There's a ton of flip-fire missiles, a ton of detail on the outside. The biggest problem that I have with this set is that little chair thing to the side. I think they could have probably found a better way to store the lightsabers, because that's basically all that that's doing. Otherwise, this is a really nice set, a really great improvement on the previous model of General Grievous' Starfighter, and that's why this one is at number 8. So moving on to number 7, we have set number 8088, the ARC 170 Starfighter. This one sold for $60, came with 396 pieces, and while the ARC 170 is definitely one of my favorite ships from Star Wars, this specific set once again falls into the category of heavily overpriced. I mean, you do get some okay minifigures, but for $60, you're just really not getting enough, in my opinion. You get Captain Jag on the far right, you get a just regular clone pilot, Kit Fisto, and then the droid is R4P44. Like I said, though, the ARC 170 is one of my favorite ships. I love the slim, kind of, I guess you could say, body design, that little mid-area, and how it kind of slims out going to the nose. I really love that shape. The 2 giant engines right next to it. And then the unique design of the wings of the ARC 170 is definitely something that I really love. The way that those kind of flaps can kind of close down when it's in landing, and then when it pops up and it's flying around. This is definitely a very swooshable ship. There's a lot of playability in terms of that. There's not a lot of, I guess you'd say, like missiles or like anything you could fire off in terms of that kind of playability. But you can make plenty of sounds with your mouth or anything, some gun sounds. But overall, I think this is a really great set. My only problem with the actual design is the fact that you have 3, I guess you could say, cockpits, but you only get 2 troopers. You do have 3 minifigures, but I feel like it's a little weird putting Kit Fisto in there, considering he's not really a clone. But overall, I do think that this is a great model of one of my favorite ships from the Star Wars universe. And that's why this one's at number 7. So moving on to number 6, we have set number 8096, Emperor Palpatine's Shuttle. This one sold for $60, giving 592 pieces, so finally a good price per piece set. You get Anakin Skywalker after he's kind of been burned up there. That's why you see his arm exposed, his shirt's all ripped. I love the design on that Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader minifigure. You also get an Emperor Palpatine, an Episode 3 clone pilot, and then the droid is 2-1B. He's just a medical droid. But I really love the design of this Emperor Palpatine shuttle. It's very similar to the Imperial shuttles and that kind of design where you have the wings, and then you have that one little fin at the top. I do like, however, how this one kind of flattens that out. It's not as vertical, it's more horizontal, that wing at the top. I think they did a great job with the cockpit there. It looks really nice. Obviously, the wings on the side can move up and down. Not a ton of playability in terms of things you can fire off, but once again, you can definitely swoosh this thing around. You can put your minifigures inside there, and you do get some nice minifigures to boot. Overall, just a nicely designed ship, and that's why this one is at number 6. So moving on to number 5, we have set number 10215, Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. This one sold for $100, came with 676 pieces, and I probably did put this one a little lower than it deserves to go. This is another one where the price is just outrageous. Obviously, you are getting a very nice UCS model of Obi-Wan's Starfighter from that second movie. Unfortunately, no minifigures included in this set, but for $100, I mean, I really feel like they should have just decreased the price a little bit. Obviously, you get a ton of detail with this being a UCS set. The cockpit is absolutely amazing. The engines, you get the nice plaque there. Not really much to say about this set. I just think it's very simple, and not that that's a bad thing, but I don't know, I maybe would have liked to see them do a little bit more on the wings, or I don't know, it's just a little too bland for me, even though it is a very nicely designed set. And then obviously the price is also something that is a little overpriced in my opinion, and that's why I put this one at number 5. So moving on to number 4, we have set number 8129, the AT-AT Walker. This one sold for $110, came with 815 pieces, so you could argue maybe a little bit overpriced there. But you do get 8 minifigures included in the set. You get Luke Skywalker as a pilot, you get just a regular Hoth trooper, Han Solo in his Hoth garb, C-3PO, 2 snowtroopers, General Veers, and then you also get a AT-AT pilot. One of my favorite, I guess features about this is the fact that they have that little, lasso piece for Luke to kind of swing around. That's a nice little addition. And then, I know I usually don't like side builds, but I do actually like that they included a little turret there for the Rebel guy. Just because normally in this AT-AT, you'll have, some 2 Rebel guys or something going up against an AT-AT. And while the turret doesn't really do much, it is just a little bit of something for it to go up against. The interior of the AT-AT is pretty small. You do have some space in the cockpit as well. I maybe would have liked to see them make that a little bit larger. Overall, I think this is a pretty good model. I just think the body itself looks a little weird. The middle of it is so much higher up than the back and the front are, and I don't really think they did a good job of sloping it there. I also think the cockpit has a very weird shape. But the AT-AT is just one of my favorites, and I really think that they did overall execute this very well with some minor difficulties that I was able to look past, and that's why I put this one at number 4. So moving on to number 3, we have set number 8097, the Slave One. This one sold for $80, came with 573 pieces, and this is probably a set that I put a little bit too high, especially considering the price. You're not really getting too much for that. You do get the 3 minifigures technically, 4 if you include the Carbonite piece itself, but you get a Han Solo from Episode 6, a Bossk minifigure, and a Boba Fett minifigure. But the Slave One is probably my favorite ship from the Star Wars universe, so I do have a little bias towards this one. I do think that this is one of the Slave Ones with the most playability features. You get some flick fire missiles out in the front. You obviously have the turrets that move independently of each other. The little wings on the side will rotate depending on whether you have it flying or landed. You can also move the seat on the inside. And then there's a ton of missiles on the inside that you can open up a flap, and then you can fire off like 6 missiles in a row. Just tons of playability with this set, which is really what I look towards. And then also, it has some great display ability because all those playability features are hidden so well, because that's really what the Slave 1 is all about. You got the hidden missiles and everything that's hidden that you can't see, and that's why it's one of those kind of like, you don't really know it's a deadly ship, but then you get up close and then it's just firing missiles at you. I also think that this has one of the better ways to store the Han Solo and Carbonite piece. You can just kind of seal it right underneath that back flap. But overall, a greatly designed Slave 1 with a ton of playability, and that's why I put this one at number 3. So moving on to number 2, we have set number 8098, the Clone Turbo Tank. This one sold for $120, came with 1,141 pieces, so pretty good number of pieces there for this set. You get included the 6 minifigures. You get just a regular Clone Trooper, a Clone Commander, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Aayla Secura, and then you also get Cad Bane in this. And that's honestly probably my most frustrating thing with this set, is the fact that they included Cad Bane. This is one of 2 sets that includes this Cad Bane, the Cad Bane Speeder being the other one, and I feel it really ruins part of the exclusivity of that figure, because he's the only, I guess you could say, bad guy in this set, and I don't really think that there was a point in doing that. I really feel like they should have either just cut him or added another clone. But other than that, I think that they packed a ton of detail into the actual model of the Clone Turbo Tank. It rolls very nicely on those wheels, and then I really love how they included the little mini AT-RT that can be stored inside, and they also had like a little control panel there. It's the small details that really matter, and with all the little detailing and all the additional features, and you also have a handle on this that you're able to lift it with if you don't want to roll it around. You get a ton of playability out of this. I think it also looks really good on display, and then even though there is the Cad Bane included, you do get some great minifigures in this set, and that's why I put this one at number 2. So moving on to number 1 for the year 2010, we have set number 10212, the Imperial Shuttle, sold for $260, came with 2,503 pieces, and for me, this was an absolute no-brainer, You get an Imperial pilot, Imperial officer, Luke Skywalker from Episode 6, Darth Vader, and a Stormtrooper included in this set. So a UCS set with quite a few minifigures included, which is really nice. Obviously not a lot of playability because it's a UCS set, but this thing looks absolutely amazing on display. I really love how they executed the cockpit. There's like no loose studs. It's all sloped very well, and they got the shape perfect. The fin at the top, just the design of it, everything looks so beautiful. And there's not a lot of exterior design, but I think that looks good because it's really smooth on the outside. It's not very rigid, it's very smooth, it's very clean looking, and I think that makes it look absolutely amazing on display, which in my opinion is what the UCS sets are all about. The design of them and how they really look on display. You could look at this and be like, that looks like an Imperial shuttle that you could see in the movie. Obviously not the right size. It's not going to be the exact same size. But just an absolutely amazing set. You also get some great minifigures included, and that's why I put this one at number 10 for the year of 2010, or number 1, for the year 2010. But guys, that'll be it for this top 10 video. If you did enjoy, remember, go down there, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, let me know in the comments what you thought of my list and what your list would be, and don't forget to come back, check out next week's list where I'll be doing 2011, but guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace!